Hi, kids. I hope you're doing well. I miss seeing you every week. Let's see who the employment agency sent over today to help us with our lesson. Well, here it comes now. And what might your name be, kind sir? Figaro. Figaro? Yes. Figaro, Figaro, Figaro. Sorry, sometimes I run out of air. No problem. Doesn't it hurt when you fall like that? Usually I land on the conductor. He must be a patient guy to put up with all that. He has a heart of gold and a head of steel. I don't want to be rude, but I think you've got something on your face. Did I get it? No, other side. There, you got it now. How embarrassing. Don't worry about it. It happens to everybody. Really? Yeah, well, just last week, I had a whole slice of pizza stuck to my face all day one day, right here. Didn't anybody tell you? No, in fact, if I hadn't sneezed, it might still be there. I guess I'm just a little bit sensitive because we pigs have this unfair reputation for being dirty animals. Well, you guys roll around in the mud a lot. Maybe that's why. Well, if that's the case, what about that Amazon rainforest mud bath you took at the spa last week? How did you know? I mean, that never happened. What are you talking about? Anyway, I'm glad you're here, Figaro. And I'm glad we got onto the topic of pigs and mud because that's what our Bible verse is about today. 2 Peter 2:22. Here it is. You want to read it for us, Figaro? Of them the proverbs are true. A dog returns to its vomit, and a pig that is washed goes back to wallowing in the mud. This verse is talking about people who don't learn from their mistakes. They do something stupid or bad, and then they get in trouble, but then they go back and do the same old dumb or bad thing all over again. It's like a dog who sees some spoiled food on the ground and he eats it, and it makes him sick, so he has to throw it up. But then he forgets and he comes back later and he eats that bad food all over again and he gets sick all over again. He didn't learn his lesson. See? That proves pigs are smarter than dogs. Not so fast, my operatic friend. Because look at the second part of the verse. A pig that is washed goes back to wallowing in the mud. So wallowing means like taking a bath. So a pig gets washed off, and it's nice and clean, but then it forgets it's clean and goes back to wallowing in the mud. I didn't come here to be insulted. Really? Because it wasn't the contract the agency sent over. And anyway, it's people do the same thing. It's not just pigs and dogs, but people don't learn from their lessons either. And that's really what this verse is talking about. So that people can go back to their own mistakes and sins, like a dog returning to something that made it sick and eating it all over again. And people can go back and get cleaned up and start to do the right thing, and then they go back in the mud. And that's why we always need God's forgiveness too. But we want to be smart. We don't want to be dumb like that, like those animals who do those things and people who do those things. So it says of them, the proverbs, those are the wise sayings, are true. So kids, why don't you say this after me? You repeat after me. Of them, the proverbs are true. A dog returns to its vomit, and a pig that is washed goes back to wallowing in the mud. Let's say it one more time. That's 2 Peter 2:22. Say that, 2 Peter 2:22. Or one more time. Of them the proverbs are true. A dog returns to its vomit, And a pig that is washed goes back to wallowing in the mud. 2 Peter 2:22. Well, I think that's about it for today, kids. Wait a minute. It ain't over till the fat piggy sings. Figaro, Figaro, Figaro. Should have worked on the breathing.